There are way more than a handful of fantastic online multiplayer games for the Nintendo Switch. Even though Nintendo's online infrastructure and online performance may not be the best by any stretch of the imagination, there are still great games and a lot of fun to be had out there. But Monster Hunter Rise very well could be my next obsession, mainly because of the online multiplayer. Hello everyone, my name is Gary from the Nintendo Village and we are very close to the launch of Monster Hunter Rise. In this video we're going to be talking about a couple of reasons why Monster Hunter Rise could be the best co-op online game on the Nintendo Switch. If you're new around here or a returning viewer, then welcome. We post videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. The Nintendo Wii was the first home Nintendo console with a proper focus on online connectivity. I sank a whole bunch of my life playing Mario Kart Wii Online, too much in fact, as I do with every Mario Kart that has ever been released. There was one other game though that rivaled the amount of time that I put into Mario Kart's online mode, and that was Monster Hunter Tri. Monster Hunter was one of the first online games that I actually chatted to people over a microphone. I got a limited edition bundle which had a Wii Speak included. Many of you may not remember or know about Wii Speak, but it was a mic that would sit on top of the sensor bar and it made everyone sound like they were either talking underwater or possessed by the devil. It may not have been the greatest or the highest of technologies when it was released, but it opened up a new era of gaming to me personally, or at least the odd times that I actually found people online that had one too, and that spoke the same language as me. I didn't take to the gameplay of Monster Hunter Tri straight away. But the more I played of it and the more I played of it online, the more I started to enjoy it. Taking down massive monsters in a team of 4 was a great feeling. And more than that, the online connectivity was just solid. It wasn't the game with the most packed out lobbies, but it was rare that you couldn't even find one person to play with. The next Monster Hunter game that blew my socks off was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U and 3DS. 3 Ultimate was basically a more fleshed out version of Tri, with an overhauled online mode and some quality of life improvements. This was the game. This was the one that got me hooked. I could literally see dawn breaking before I put the controller down on some days/nights. Much like Tri on the Wii, 3 Ultimate had some fantastic online multiplayer features. Not only did the voice chat return, but you didn't even have to have an accessory for it. The built-in microphone on the Wii U gamepad allowed you to chat with fellow hunters straight from the box. If you didn't feel like using voice chat, don't worry, Capcom has your back as well, allowing you to use the gamepad screen as a keyboard. It really was the social game for me. The community was great, the game let you add friends to your Wii U through the actual game itself, and above all else, the game was just bloody great. I must have easily sunk 400 plus hours hacking and slashing at monsters, crafting new gear, learning new weapons, building loadouts. I knew from then on that Monster Hunter really was something special, and that it wasn't getting the recognition that it deserved here in the West. From then on Nintendo consoles I've had Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Generations, and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch. They don't have any voice chat options anymore, but they're still really fantastic online multiplayer games, and I've sank so many hours, seriously so many countless hours into these games, and I still really enjoy them. Monster Hunter World was the big one though. It was the single game that turned the Western gaming world into Monster Hunter fans, and you can see straight away why. It felt like Capcom gave Monster Hunter World its all with its release. Not only did Capcom go all out with a more fleshed out single player mode, but they made the world feel more alive, more connected, and a lot more going on with it. The community of non-playable characters were fully voice acted. The worlds were bigger, just better, but the online yet again was the star of the show. It was almost seamless how people could drop in and drop out. It worked brilliantly and Capcom knew it. Before long, there was expansions and Monster Hunter World just kept getting bigger and bigger and better and better. Monster Hunter World worried me in ways. I feared that we'd never see an all new Monster Hunter hitting a Nintendo platform ever again exclusively. Not after the success that Monster Hunter World had on the PS4, and then on Xbox and PC as well after that. So obviously I was over the moon when Capcom announced Monster Hunter Rise for the Nintendo Switch. It looked just as good as World, had the fleshed out story, and it just looks so good. So not only are we getting a new game with a robust looking single player, but from the look of it, the online mode is to rival anything else on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, so again, we're probably going to be missing those voice chat options, but that is more of a system problem than a game problem. And yes, I know games like Fortnite have it, but there really isn't too many of those games knocking about. And even without voice chat though, the online multiplayer will still be incredible, and we know this from previous installments of the series. There's nothing like getting a bunch of friends together for a community hunt, tackling titanic monsters while screaming at each other. There's always something special about online co-op games, and I honestly do believe that Monster Hunter Rise will be up there with the best ones on the Nintendo Switch. As Capcom adds more and more to Monster Hunter, it gets better and better online. Not only is there amazingly stunning locations this time around, but there are some interesting and fearsome monsters for you to take out too. Each player has an almost completely different character from everybody else. Not only will the stats be different, but the look of the armor, the weapons you choose, how you customize the moveset, and the AI partner that you bring along for the adventure too. Be it the cute cat like Palico, or the large doggo called the Palamute. You can always customize, change and upgrade, and that's what keeps Monster Hunter so addictive. It kept me coming back over and over again throughout the series. I love it when publishers announce that their game is going to have legs after launch. It means that Monster Hunter won't just be a weekend romp, but rather a game to look forward to playing over a long period of time. Starting from the end of April, Capcom has already announced that they are adding a whole bunch of monsters to the game over an unknown period of time, expanding the game continuously and giving players a reason to jump back in over and over again. This isn't the first time that Monster Hunter has done this either. In the past, there's even been quests to unlock Link and Samus costumes for your hunters, and I'm fairly sure that these will come back this time around as well. Not only has Capcom already talked about the series of free updates and even more monsters coming to this jam-packed looking game already, but they've also talked about DLC in the form of cosmetic skins for your hunters, adding even more layers on top of an already packed out online game. We've already seen how these little trickles of content over periods of time can keep games alive. Look at Splatoon, Smash and Animal Crossing. People have been playing those for years now, and I'm sure that Monster Hunter will be around for at least as long. It's really honestly hard to find the words to explain how good a Monster Hunter game is, especially with friends. But there's always a steep learning curve to get over first. But trust me when I say this, Monster Hunter Rise could well be the best co-op game that keeps you coming back over and over again online on the Nintendo Switch. So there you have it. I'm more than a little bit looking forward to Monster Hunter Rise when it finally launches. And what about you guys? Are you going to pick it up? If you're looking for some hunting buddies, then maybe join our Discord. The link will be in the description. We chat a lot there about all sorts of Nintendo stuff, but we do play games together as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you head over to the nintendovillage.com for all sorts of news, reviews and podcasts. And don't forget to tune in next week because we have videos out every single week. Thank you again for watching and have a great weekend.